Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to share something that might be a bit controversial for some, but I believe many of you will relate to or even find yourself agreeing with. My husband and I have chosen a unique approach to our relationship. It's not always easy to explain to others, but for us, it's been an amazing journey that has brought us closer together each day. We are fully embracing this new chapter in our lives, exploring the decision we've made together. My name is Riley. I'm 39 years old and I've been married to Samuel, who is 43, for 15 years. We live in Homestead, a moderately busy city in Florida. Despite the hustle and bustle of our daily routines, we've managed to maintain a peaceful lifestyle here. Early in our relationship, I remember Samuel struggling with jealousy related to my job. He was uncomfortable with the idea of me spending my days giving professional massages to male clients, even though I assured him it was strictly professional. At first, it was difficult for him to accept. Arguments were frequent, and there were moments when it seemed like our relationship might not survive. But instead of letting things fall apart, I chose to fight for us. I truly loved him and believed that if he could come to terms with my work, our relationship would flourish. Through countless heartfelt conversations and a lot of patience, Samuel began to see things differently. Gradually, he realized that my career was just that, a career, and that our bond was far more important. Watching his jealousy fade away and eventually disappear completely was a relief. It lifted a weight off our relationship, allowing it to become lighter and more fulfilling. Today, we are closer than ever. The strong foundation of trust we've built over the years has enabled us to be entirely open with each other. We can share our thoughts and desires without holding back, and this honesty has been key to keeping our marriage solid and transparent. Being the primary breadwinner in our household, my job has always been well accepted by Samuel. However, a few months ago, I noticed a shift. He started to show an unusual interest in my work. He'd ask about how many clients I had, wanted details about my day, and even began requesting to see my schedule. Initially, I thought he was just curious or concerned about how the business was performing. But as his questions became more frequent, I began to sense that something was bothering him. This started to make me uneasy. Eventually, my frustration boiled over, and we ended up arguing. I demanded to know why he was being so insistent and asking so many questions. It felt like he was accusing me of something, as if he doubted my fidelity or believed I was crossing boundaries with a client. The tension between us grew, and I was at a loss for how to handle it. I had always been upfront about my work, so why was he suddenly questioning me? Before I continue this story, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Samuel quickly tried to calm me down, explaining that he was just worried and wanted to make sure everything was okay, especially since I rarely talked about my work in detail. His response made me reflect, and after cooling off, I reassured him that yes, I had a steady base of regular clients and that my workdays didn't hold much drama or surprises. After a moment of silence, Samuel hesitantly shared a new idea he'd been considering to help improve my business. This caught me off guard since he'd never expressed much interest in the business side of my work before. Intrigued, I asked him to elaborate. But before explaining, he gave me a warning. "You'll need to keep an open mind for this." His words piqued my curiosity. I'd been struggling to attract new clients for a while, and although my regulars were loyal, a few had stopped coming, which was beginning to impact my income. Whatever Samuel's idea was, it seemed worth exploring. I pushed down my impatience and asked, "What exactly are you thinking? I'm open to hearing it as long as it makes sense." He sighed, seeming to gather his thoughts before replying, "Love. You've been wearing the same uniform for years, using the same music during sessions, and keeping the atmosphere plain and quiet. Your skills are excellent, but I think if we updated some things, you could attract more clients and improve your income. and that would benefit both of us. At first, I was taken aback. Hearing Samuel critique how I'd run my business for so long felt almost insulting. Irritation bubbled up inside me, but I tried to stay calm. Deep down, I knew he wasn't trying to hurt me. As we talked, I realized his intentions were genuine. He truly wanted to help me improve. Slowly, I let go of my pride and began to listen to his suggestions. After much discussion and reflection, we agreed it was time to revamp almost everything. Samuel, with his practical and straightforward mindset, offered a series of ideas, most of which I eventually accepted. The first change was updating my uniform. He suggested something more modern and bold, something that would make a lasting impression. Next, he proposed repainting the office and redesigning the decor to create a more inviting and engaging environment. He envisioned a space that would feel both soothing and stimulating, elevating the overall experience for clients. But Samuel didn't stop there. He also encouraged me to promote my services online, using social media to expand my reach and attract a new audience. He stressed the importance of building an online presence, leveraging platforms where people actively search for relaxation and wellness services. To complement this strategy, he proposed launching a special promotion to spark curiosity and attract new clients to my practice. Initially, I thought it was a bit over the top and not aligned with my style. However, as we discussed it further, I began to see the potential of these changes. Maybe this fresh approach could truly turn things around. The idea of revamping my business filled me with excitement, and I was eager to start. Samuel shared my enthusiasm, and we didn't want to waste any time. We grabbed our phones and started browsing for new uniforms, checking out various websites. To our frustration, most of the options were the same generic white outfits I was already wearing, plain and uninspiring. After nearly an hour of scrolling through endless pages without finding anything unique, I was about to give up, convinced that we wouldn't find anything different. Then, Samuel, with his usual quirky and creative mindset, had a suggestion. He proposed looking at a completely different type of store, one I never would have thought of myself. At first, I didn't understand what he meant, but it became clear when he turned his phone screen toward me. He was browsing a website featuring special costumes and unique outfits. I couldn't help but laugh at the unexpected idea, surprised but also intrigued. It was something entirely out of the ordinary, yet it seemed to be the bold change I needed for this new phase of my career. The thought of a uniform that would grab attention and spark curiosity began to feel like an interesting way to draw in new clients and transform the ambiance of my practice. I chose to stay quiet, refraining from commenting, as the idea had come from him, and I was curious to see where it would lead. Samuel, determined as always, continued scrolling through countless pages in search of something that could become my new uniform, or at least align with his vision. As he explored the options, I felt a mixture of anticipation and nervousness, imagining the possibilities these choices could bring. After persistent searching, he finally found something that caught his attention. It was an elegant yet provocative outfit, completely unlike anything I'd worn before. With a satisfied smile, Samuel turned the phone toward me and asked, "So, what do you think?" I studied the garment, and despite my initial surprise, I couldn't deny that it might be the dramatic change we were looking for. The thought of wearing something so daring for work made me uneasy, yet it also filled me with a rush of excitement, as if this new chapter was already taking shape. The uniform Samuel had selected was undeniably eye-catching, starting with its bold, vibrant red color that immediately drew attention. But it wasn't just the color. The design featured a plunging neckline, clearly intended to be provocative, giving the model in the photo a strikingly stunning appearance. What was meant to be a professional uniform felt more like a daring costume, blending sensuality with boldness. As I gazed at the image, I realized this wasn't what I had envisioned when we started looking for a new outfit. Yet, in a strange way, it seemed perfect for the complete transformation we had in mind. It was a choice guaranteed to make an impression. The alternative was sticking with the plain white uniforms in my closet, an option I desperately wanted to avoid. After some consideration, we decided to purchase the uniform. With that out of the way, we shifted focus to transforming the space itself. Our goal was to create an entirely new atmosphere to complement the bold new look. Together, we planned a total makeover to make the environment more inviting and exciting. Once all the items were ordered, we finally went to bed. I thanked Samuel for his support and enthusiasm in helping me reimagine my business. He smiled warmly, kissed me, and wished me good night. As I turned the corner to head to bed, I couldn't help but wonder how he would feel seeing me in such a striking uniform while working with clients. The outfit was undeniably revealing, fitted snugly with a plunging neckline that was far from conventional. The thought of wearing something so provocative made me a little self-conscious, but Samuel's confidence in the decision gave me the courage to move forward. I put those thoughts aside and went to sleep, reminding myself that this entire makeover was his idea, and I needed to trust his vision. As the days passed, the materials we had ordered began arriving, and everything started falling into place. The first delivery was the paint for the room, a subtle shade of red chosen to pair perfectly with the soft orange glow of the lights, creating a warm and intimate ambiance. Excitement grew as each piece arrived. We decorated the room with carefully selected candles, which provided soft romantic lighting. A few new paintings were added to enhance the aesthetic, and we replaced the cold porcelain tiles with warm wooden flooring. Everything felt fresh and new, exactly as we had envisioned. Finally, my new uniform arrived, and I couldn't wait to relaunch my business with this bold new look. The vibrant red outfit with its provocative design was the finishing touch that completed the transformation. When I tried it on for the first time, I felt completely different. The fit was perfect, accentuating my curves in a way I'd never experienced before. The tight fabric hugged my figure, making me feel both attractive and confident. The deep neckline at the front added an element of daring sophistication. As I stood in front of the mirror, I marveled at how the outfit highlighted every detail, making me feel more empowered and self-assured than ever before. Samuel couldn't stop complimenting me each time he glanced my way. His admiration was unmistakable as he told me how beautiful and attractive I looked. His enthusiasm was contagious and gave me the confidence boost I needed in my new look. The massage room had undergone a complete transformation, with the updated decor creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. On top of that, my services were now being promoted online, and the early results were promising. With these changes and Samuel's constant encouragement, I was eager to see how the revamped setup and fresh image would impact my business. Before continuing this real-life story of infidelity, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Now, all that was left was to wait for a new client to reach out. Initially, I was doubtful about how effective online advertising would be, but the reality quickly proved me wrong. On the very first day, I was flooded with messages and calls from curious individuals eager to learn more about my services. The surprise was even greater when I secured my first new client. Seeing the results of all our hard work and the changes we'd made was incredibly gratifying. I scheduled the appointment for the afternoon, and when my client Levi arrived, his reaction was impossible to miss. He seemed taken aback, his gaze fixed on me in my striking new uniform. It was clear that the bold outfit was making the kind of impression we'd hoped for. I asked Levi if he was dealing with any back pain or if this was his first time seeking a massage. He explained that he wasn't in pain, but was simply looking to relax and enjoy the experience. With that information, I prepared the space, ensuring everything was perfectly arranged to give him a soothing and enjoyable session. First impressions were vital, and I was determined to provide an outstanding service. During the massage, Levi appeared completely at ease, clearly enjoying the session. When I asked him to turn over and lie on his stomach, I noticed something that caught my attention. His physical reaction was unmistakable. He seemed noticeably excited, and the towel only emphasized the situation. I worked to stay calm, maintaining a professional demeanor as I continued the massage. I understood that such reactions could be a natural response during deep relaxation as the body reacts to various stimuli and changes in blood flow. Staying composed, I focused on ensuring the session remained both professional and comfortable for him. Levi, however, was visibly embarrassed and began apologizing repeatedly. I reassured him, keeping the tone light and supportive, explaining that such responses were entirely normal during relaxation sessions. To help ease the tension further, I asked if he'd been feeling stressed or dealing with any specific challenges in his life. This seemed to open the door for him to talk. He shared details about his daily life and family, mentioning that he was married and had a son. It became clear that, beyond the massage, he was looking for a chance to unwind and release some of the pressures he was carrying. Our conversation added a personal touch to the session, helping to create a more relaxed and welcoming atmosphere for him. Still, Levi's excitement didn't subside, which made the situation a little awkward for me. Though I understood the physiological side of it, I'd never encountered this kind of response before. I began wondering if the changes in the room's ambience, like the incense, lighting, or even my new uniform, had contributed to his heightened reaction. It was hard not to question the impact these adjustments were having on my work environment and client experience. As the session neared its end, Levi hesitated before making a surprising request. He asked if I'd be willing to provide an additional service for an extra fee, explaining that he wanted a more comprehensive experience to fully relax. His proposal caught me off guard, but I worked to maintain a professional tone. I asked him to clarify exactly what he meant. Levi's offer was tempting. He was willing to pay double for what he called a happy ending, emphasizing that he wanted to release his pent-up energy and promising to become a loyal client if I agreed. I didn't have much time to decide, and to be honest, the idea didn't seem entirely unreasonable. I had been looking for ways to grow my client base and generate enough income to eventually move my business out of my home into a more suitable location. Levi's proposal, while unconventional, presented a significant opportunity to further those goals. With these considerations in mind, I decided to proceed, ensuring everything was handled professionally and respectfully. Before starting the additional service, I made it clear that I expected him to continue booking future sessions. To my surprise, the result was quick. Levi was finished in under 2 minutes. It was without a doubt the easiest money I had ever earned. Levi left the session extremely pleased, showering me with compliments about my skill, even calling my hands magical. He promised to return regularly and seemed genuinely impressed by the experience. His satisfaction gave me a newfound sense of accomplishment and optimism for my business. After thanking him for his visit and encouraging him to book again, I immediately began cleaning the space. I sanitized everything and replaced the towels to ensure the room was ready for my next client. Just as I finished, my phone buzzed with a new call. The number was unfamiliar, and the contact had no name or photo, making the inquiry all the more intriguing. The man on the phone mentioned that Levi had referred him to my services. Although I didn't know who he was, Levi's recommendation gave me confidence in the potential of this new client. We arranged an appointment for 3 p.m. When the time came and I opened the door, I was greeted by a tall, muscular man with dark hair. He introduced himself as Spencer. To my surprise, Spencer appeared to be quite young, likely around 22 years old. He seemed nervous, his unease evident in his posture and movements. To help him relax and ease the tension, I initiated some small talk. As the massage began, Spencer shared that he was a soccer player for the local team. He explained that he often experienced muscle pain, particularly in the ligaments of his thighs, which was a persistent part of his daily routine. He was seeking relief to improve his performance on the field and enhance his overall well-being. I focused on applying techniques that targeted his tension points, making sure to maintain a casual conversation to help create a calming atmosphere. While working on his thighs, I noticed Spencer growing visibly embarrassed. It became clear that he was experiencing some physical excitement, which only seemed to increase his discomfort. Remaining professional, I quickly reassured him, explaining that such reactions were entirely normal during a massage. Toward the end of the session, Spencer brought up something unexpected. He mentioned that Levi had spoken to him about an additional service I provided. Without hesitation, I confirmed that I did offer an extra relaxation service. However, I clarified that due to the growing demand and recognition of this service, I would need to charge a higher rate. Spencer understood and agreed to the terms, demonstrating that he appreciated the value of the experience and was willing to pay a fair price. This time, the extra service was even quicker than it had been with Levi. In less than a minute, Spencer had achieved the relief he was looking for. After completing the session, I reminded him to return regularly and encouraged him to recommend me to others who might benefit from my services. Spencer expressed his gratitude, noting that he felt significantly better both physically and emotionally. Seeing his satisfaction made me happy to know I had successfully helped another client. As the weeks went by, my appointment schedule filled rapidly, and my business flourished. Samuel was thrilled with the progress, taking great pride in the changes we had implemented and how well they had worked. He often boasted about the success he had helped bring about, and his enthusiasm motivated me even more to maintain the quality of my services. With each new client, it became increasingly clear that the adjustments we had made were key to the growth of my business. However, my husband remains unaware of how I have managed to attract such a loyal and consistent client base. I doubt he suspects that I'm using this particular method to draw in customers, and I have no plans to tell him. After all, the additional service I offer still falls under the broad definition of massage. Now, I find myself at a crossroads. Should I tell him the truth about how I'm bringing in so many new clients? Or should I leave things as they are? If you have any advice, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I should do. If you enjoyed this real-life account of infidelity, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like.